Howdy, folks. Welcome to Mental Health Monday. My name is Kenneth Thomas, and on Mondays, I like to get on here and talk about different concepts and different things about mental health. For those of you who don't know, I'm a combat veteran. I deal with PTSD, and then the and associated anxiety and that kind of stuff as well. And I also deal with depression on a regular basis. So that's usually where a lot of my topics are coming from. But today I happened to hear an audio clip from Tony Robbins, and it really, really got me thinking. And he was talking about how most people are uncomfortable, but they're not uncomfortable enough to do anything about it. And I thought about that, and I was like, that's a really, really good point. There's a lot of people who express dissatisfaction with their jobs, how certain things are going in their life and that kind of thing. So they're obviously uncomfortable. But most people don't do anything about it other than bitch and moan. So what are you going to do about it? That's the big thing. No growth happens without some discomfort. You're never going to be somebody who grows or becomes anything more than you are if you're not willing to go through some discomfort. It could be simple things like you're not as healthy as you want to be, so you start exercising, that causes discomfort as your body's not used to it, and then you're dealing with that kind of thing. So, but it gets better. You grow into that aspect. So it is going to be uncomfortable at first. It's supposed to be uncomfortable at first, but you can grow and you can do things. Now, the other thing about this is that are you really that uncomfortable, or are you just wanting to have something to bitch about? That's a question you really do need to ask yourself and answer honestly. If you are someone who is really uncomfortable with what's your situation is, what are you going to do about it? That's the big question. What are you going to do about it? If you keep doing the same things, hoping that things will change, it's not going to. I don't remember who said it, but I've heard that one definition of insanity is doing the same thing repeatedly, expecting a different result. So if what you've been doing is not getting you where you want to be, if it is not getting you what it is that you want in life, what are you going to do different? Because you will need to do something different to get different results. You will need to do the things that, and here's the other big thing. If you want to have if you're wanting to achieve things beyond what most people do, you're going to have to do things beyond what most people do. The people who have, phenomenal success in anything work toward that success, and they put in the hours, and they put in the effort, and they put in the dedication, and they put in the consistent effort to get those results. So the big thing that you need to ask yourself is, are you uncomfortable? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Are you uncomfortable enough to do something about it yet? The other thing is how uncomfortable does it have to get before you realize something's got to change? That is one of the hardest things to realize. How uncomfortable does it have to get before you realize you need to do things different? Before you realize that this same rutted route that you have been on for however long isn't getting you where you want to be. It isn't giving you what you want in life. How uncomfortable do you have to be to get up out of that rut and to go try something different, to go pushing yourself for something more, to go and actually strive for that great thing that you dream about? I have a little thing here on my desk that is something my mom gave me. And I've talked about this before. And it says, "Don't dream your life, live your dream." And I have that on my desk because my mom knows, my mom knew how much of a dreamer I was. And she also knew that I was the kind of person who could sit here and come up with all this wonderful things that I would love to do with my life. But she also knew that I was an inherently lazy little shit and didn't always want to put the effort in to achieve these things. And this is one of those things where knowing yourself is important too, because I have ADHD. I get distracted, ooh, squirrel. And that happens, so I need things, and I need to figure out systems, and I need to figure out processes that'll help me stay on this target. Because I tell you this much, folks, I'm tired of being uncomfortable. Now, I realize that I'm always going to be uncomfortable, because once I get where I'm not uncomfortable in this circumstance, there's another step, and it's uncomfortable to take that next step. Look at me now. I'm going live here on Facebook and YouTube pretty much 5 days a week for the most part. And if you had told me that I was going to be doing that a year ago, I would have thought you were out of your mind. Because I'll tell you, this is out of my comfort zone. But it's not as uncomfortable as it used to be. And that's because I have made the constant, consistent effort to do it. This is part of what I am doing to help myself grow to become what it is that I want to be. So I challenge you to ask yourself, if you are one of these people who finds yourself uncomfortable in your life, how uncomfortable does it have to get before you do something about it? That's the simple question. See, this is one of those things where I'm always thinking of quotes that I've heard throughout my life, and through a lot of it, I was in the military. And one of the things that I always remember is, in war, everything is simple. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the simple things are easy. So in life, a lot of things are simple, but it isn't easy. So I encourage you, ask yourself that question. I'm uncomfortable. How uncomfortable do I have to get? And then I encourage you to figure out what it is that you're going to do differently to get from where you are to where you want to be. Because if you're not where you want to be, driving that same route over and over isn't going to get you there. Otherwise, you would already be there. So give yourself the opportunity to think about it. Give yourself the honest reflection and give yourself an honest answer. And if you're not uncomfortable enough to do something about it yet, that's fine. Just know that if you're not uncomfortable enough yet, how much worse is it going to have to get before you do become so uncomfortable that you will do something about it? So do you want to realize that your shoes are wearing out and that you need new shoes because your feet are starting to hurt? Or do you want to wait to the point where your feet are needing treatment from a podiatrist and you need to have extra things done, and it's really, really bad just because you didn't want to do something about your shoes? Kind of a weird analogy just popped into my head. But anyway, it's like they say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Well, the earlier that you realize you're uncomfortable and the earlier you decide you're uncomfortable enough to do something about it, the less discomfort you're going to be dealing with, and the sooner that you will get to that other better situation. So appreciate y'all for joining me. If you're catching this on the replay, please drop a hashtag replay in the comments. And as always, if you're watching this on Facebook, please follow and, drop me a line. Tell me where you're listening in from in the comments. And if you're catching this on YouTube, always like and subscribe. I really appreciate y'all taking the time out to hear what I have to say, and I hope I'm providing some value for you guys. So until next time, peace, love, and photography. And remember, everything can make a beautiful image, including you. Have a great afternoon, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.